A few weeks ago, I brought to you guys' attention a brand new build for Dungeons as Havoc Demon Hunter. In today's video, we have some data and some testing results from those 2 weeks of testing with this build. So we're going to dive back into it, give you guys my updated thoughts, and talk about if this build really is good or not. So for those of you out of the loop, this is the Spread Eagle build. Now this is the build that I showed you guys 2 weeks ago, I believe, on a Friday. Because of a sim that popped up that showed this build actually has really high potential in a burst scenario and in dungeon slice sims and stuff like that. Now the build is called Spread Eagle because this kind of looks like a dude laid on the ground. If you went back to the video, there's like an image that pops up of how Fiesta from the Demon Hunter Discord named it, yada yada, whatever. So, but that's where this build name came from, and I showed this build off to you guys for 2 reasons. One, because the sim is really good. Whenever sims are good, you generally need to test that thing because, you know, if it ends up being pretty good, then hey, we found a new build. If not, then whatever. And two, I thought the name was funny. I was around the Discord when they named it, and you know, I thought it was funny, so I made a video of it. But this is the build. The main idea of the build is to stop at Rage Fire instead of grabbing the Glaive and any means necessary talents. Then to come down the middle tree here and pick up stuff like Restless Hunter, Inner Demon, Fodder, and Glaive Tempest instead. So you save out on a few points down here. You also aren't taking Burning Hatred. Instead, Fear Generation, you're doing Blind Fury. So there's a little bit of a difference in this than there is to the other left-right throw glaive build. Then yeah, so I originally showed this build off because of all the burst potential it had. Just because, you know, hey, this build could be out there, keep an eye out for this, maybe this is something good, maybe this is something worthwhile to test. And people out there, they tested, we have data. There's actually a pin about it in the Havoc Demon Hunter Discord. And we actually know that this build, in fact, I'm going to delete a bit here, doesn't actually beat out the left-right build. So there's a few reasons for that. One of them, this build doesn't really favor mastery. You like verse a lot more than mastery because you're not using any means necessary. But because you're not using any means necessary, your Rage Fire and your Immolation Aura, which are a lot of your damage in large pulls, are actually really devalued. On top of that, Soul Rend is actually a really powerful, consistent option for damage onto a pack, right? So instead of Soul Rend, you're picking up like Glaive Tempest, which is strong. It's a good ability, but you have this every like 20 seconds, where Glaives you have every like 8 or so. So really, that's kind of the biggest downfall. There's a few other things. Whenever you sim, you don't really sim with affixes in mind, stuff like that. So any scenario where you're forced out of melee, you know, Glaives are really powerful there. And there's a lot of affixes that do that will kind of limit your uptime. Also, Thundering favors. If you get Thundering during your burst, it's really good. However, if you get Thundering not during your burst, then it really does favor this other build here because of how powerful Soul Rend is with Thundering. Just proccing randomly and being able to get those empowered glaives out into a pack is very strong. The final nail in the coffin for this build is really just its downside in large pulls. Outside of Inner Demon and Rage Fire to an extent, you don't really have a lot of options for doing that large uncapped damage. Because you're not taking any means necessary, your Immolation Aura and Rage Fire really are not anywhere near as powerful as they used to be. So all you're left with is Inner Demon and a kind of a gimped Rage Fire that's about the same power as an I-Beam, which is like fine. Immolation and I-Beam add together to roughly... Sorry, Immolation and Rage Fire add together to roughly equal an I-Beam. But realistically, it's just not there on a pack-to-pack basis. It does offer insane, crazy burst, especially with this Restless Hunter talent node, with the Inner Demon talent node. It's really strong every like 3 minutes or so whenever you actually get your meta. Whenever you actually get that meta to burst on those packs. And even some people were talking about, hey, maybe we take First Illidari. Don't take that. It's not good. First Illidari kind of desyncs a few things. It makes it so you get less Restless Hunter and less Inner Demon, and Demonic is just so powerful, yada. But this build is powerful if you end up doing those big pulls every 3 minutes or so, like how a bear tank used to be. So if Shadowlands bear, I think in season 2 it was, is still around, and then this build would be so powerful with that. But because it's not around, because we actually end up, you know, needing that damage every pack, which is what Havoc's really good at right now, it's actually not as good as it could be. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So if we go into this pack here, hopefully my details actually works. I've had issues with it not working in the past. We'll do just like a normal opener. So I'll start with Puzzle Box. I'll hunt in. I'll throw out a Glaive to just get my things. I'll use Immolation Aura. I'll use Glaive Tempest. I'll Fell Rush through. I'll I-Beam. Oh, I should have dropped my Sigil. I'll drop my Sigil. I'll Annihilation, turn, Essence Break, Death Sweep, Meta, Death Sweep, Essence Break, Fell Rush, I-Beam, Annihilation, Glaive Tempest, Death Sweep. See, my burst is quite big on 4 targets, but outside of that burst damage, I'm going to start to drop off really, really fast. On top of that, I do have to be cleaving my autos here so that I actually get the targets on their thing. So I'm going to start running out of Fury here soon. I have no Fury generators outside of just my auto attacks. Okay, that came up, so we're a little lucky. But I'm starting to drop off pretty rapidly here. And I will continue to drop off until my burst is back up, because that's really the only time I ever actually do damage. So you can do those big damages on your burst pulls, but let's say I go into a pack right now and all I have is I-Beam and Essence Break. Really all I'm going to be doing here is I-Beaming, 180, Essence Break, Death Sweep, and then Annihilation, and the damage is much lower. So if we look at this breakdown, we can see that Ragefire and Immolation aura is just a lot less than things like I-Beam and Glaive Tempest and stuff like that. And this will continue to drop off as pull counts increase, right? So obviously Ragefire is good because I was able to hit 5 things the full time. So it's a little bit better on, oh, it reset. Second here. A little bit better on things where you actually end up having that full uptime. But this is a bit misleading. In an actual pack, it wouldn't actually be this good. A lot of things would die before Ragefire. A lot of things would die before Inner Demon. And outside of my 3-minute burst, where I have that big Death Sweep from Restless Hunter, or I have that big Inner Demon, stuff like that without my box, the damage is a lot less. And in the end, you end up doing much worse than you would be with the left-right build. Now, that's not saying this build is bad. This build is very playable. If you hate using the glaives, then feel free to use this build. People have been using it. There's data on sub creation. We'll jump over to that in a second and we'll show you. But people have been using this in 25, stuff like that. It is playable. However, at the end of the day, you're probably going to end up being a better consistent option and a more overall valuable option using the left-right build. But if you want to play Spread Eagle, definitely go ahead and try it out. People have said it is clunky. There's lots going on with Glaive Tempest, with tabbing your Burning Wounds. You're very Fury starved because all you have is Blind Fury and then Scissor Flame and Fellblade, because Fellfire Heart, and because Burning Hatred doesn't exist, so you actually lose a lot of Fury there. So people have really found out that it's kind of clunky, that they don't really like what they see with that. There's a note about it in the Demon Hunter Discord, which I'll pull up and read to you guys in a second here. But because of these 2 things, really, it's definitely not worth swapping over fully from this to the other build. Swapping over to this from the other build. So the build's okay. Solar benefits a lot from Thundering. You definitely can play it. It's very clunky subjectively because it's trying to do too many things at once. So that's kind of the note about it in the Demon Hunter Discord. But again, you know, play what you want at the end of the day. However, I will recommend playing the left-right build instead. So we'll swap over to sub creation now. I'll show the data I was talking about, and then we'll end the video off. So here we are on sub creation. So if you guys don't know what this website is, basically it looks at logs done of top keys from like 22 to 26 within the past 4 weeks, and kind of takes data from those. This is a way of looking at different data points across these dungeon ranges. We're looking at 4,000 logs, which is roughly 1,100 unique characters. So we can see here all these builds. These are just the most generic builds. They're just left, right. If you scroll down here, we can actually see that some dungeons, if I can find it, right here, have been done with the left, right build. We can see that 33 people, or 33 logs, have actually tried this left, right build. The highest is a 25, which is pretty decent. And it's done 0.84% of the time. So people are out there playing this build, but the majority of people are still sticking with the left-right build. Now, again, you know, this could be a few reasons. This could be just due to not wanting to swap and stuff like that. But I think overall, the data that we do have shows us that this build is better. It's what most people are playing. It's definitely stronger in a lot of different scenarios where maybe left-right falls out. Sorry, left-right is... where's Spread Eagle? Here's Spread Eagle. Where this falls out because of, you know, just how much this favors burst, which is really only relevant if you hit those big 3-minute pack windows. Slightly better single target as well, but really left-right single target isn't that bad because a lot of bosses force you to melee anyways, which Soul Ren is very strong for. So really, while this build is very playable, it's definitely not the build killer for this left-right build that we could have been. The sims are promising, but one of the things is if you sim without meta, then these sims are actually better for left-right. So that is something to keep in mind. Whenever these new builds come out, you know, I'm always going to be excited for new builds because it's fun content for me to make. I like new builds. I like coming up with stuff. I'm a big cooker, you know, let them cook. But at the end of the day, It's not better than what we currently have, but you can play it if you do enjoy the play style of not throwing out glaives, which I've heard a lot of people don't enjoy. But that is going to be it for the video today. I just wanted to update you guys on the findings from the past few weeks, talk about the build a bit, where it's fell short compared to the other one. If you want to support the content, leave a sub, drop a like, drop a comment. If you really want to help me out, consider joining giving me a channel membership. There's a ton of perks with that, a ton of different levels to help me help you out as well, or help you help me out. Shout out to my channel memberships, which I'll do at the end, but you guys really help me make these videos better. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll have more content for you guys throughout the week. So with that, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out. Bye. A big shout out to my YouTube channel members, Dimidam and Flapjack67. Your guys' support has really helped me make these videos as I can. If you're looking to support me and help me make more videos and better videos, then click the link in the description below to learn more about channel membership and get a ton of sweet perks while you help me make this channel as great as it can. Thank you.